think good sleeping on maybe Charles. They were so lackadaisical throughout the year.
Yeah.
You know, you give them a month to prep and practice. I think they're gonna. I think they're gonna be top.
Isn't that kind of like a Chinese thing though? Like the teams that do that, where they kind of known to like perform better at TI than they do throughout the rest of the year. And you talked about Marana off camera, like to start this tournament, and I was like, I don't know about Marana. Suddenly we see a first round ban Marana.
It's gonna be most contested. I think Enchantress, Marana, Chen, and Nick are your big four, and I think a large part of that is the concept of player on catapult. Like again, it's hard to really break down the meta and Dota right now. We haven't seen any good Dota. I don't count the qualifiers, and now all of a sudden we're here after effectively all teams have played a boot camp for a month again.
10 seconds.
So who knows what's going on behind those doors?
True. Well, I think I do.
Crazy stuff. Well, I think you do as well. You got the Marana and the Enchantress we've seen a little bit of. And now this Elder Titan, first picked overall. Is there a certain reason?
He's just a beast in lane, especially with a hero like Grimstroke. I mean, what's your play?
Is this a 3 or a 4 Elder Titaners?
I think it's both. It could.
Okay, so it's like a flex pick opening. I feel like Ogre is primarily going to be played as a 3 at this tournament.
Yep.
Pass usually a 5, possibly a 4.
I think its
lane presence is too much.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it just makes more sense as a 3. I hate supports without wave clear, but when you're a core, I think it's a bit better because now you're like bullying the lane. You get your core items and you can roam if you want. If you're a 4 position, you don't have the levels to do. It's not as if you're gonna. Oh, hey guys, I'll take off lane for a bit. Like, you're gonna hit creeps for 10 minutes. Come on.
Ogres tend to be rushing Midas, at least that I saw. Like, they maybe go phase boots into Midas, and it's like pretty much standard build on almost every hero this patch. But the multicast on Midas makes it so a hero that traditionally doesn't farm get a lot of farm being like a spear breaker type offlaner. Like, I've seen a lot of them just go like Midas, like run around stunning people.
5 seconds.
And you actually do a lot as kind of like a low down skirmisher. But there's the Alchemist, something I've been seeing way too much in NA, and was curious about, you know, is it something that with proper like counterplay, is it bad, or is it something we'll see a lot of TI? I personally think it's really second round hero.
We're like 2 minutes into the first trycast. Brian's already answered his own questions and monologued for a minute.
That was not a minute. That was like 25 and a half seconds. Okay.
Please keep going. Go on.
I'm good, man. I'm good.
I mean, talking about the Alchemist, so like, what happened, right? He used to be a middle only here, and then all of a sudden, I think it was actually an NA, right? He just started going safe lane. Why is safe lane so much better than middle now on that hero?
Well, previously he was just too squishy. Like, mid lane was like kind of like for sniper, where it's harder to gank you in the mid lane. But now they gave him 10 movement speed and 1 or 2 armor, and the hero can actually lane in the side lanes without just being ran down and dying, because the side lanes, the chase distance is the big difference between side lanes.
Broodmother, we've seen what alliances, liquids. They like first picking this hero. You think we're going to see a bunch at this tournament, or how do you? Are you guys any Brood players?
I mean, I know Brian.
Yeah, any hero that requires micro is my specialty.
Dude, you know the funniest? I didn't know this was but you can customize your hero, right?
Yeah.
Your hero pool, and I just love Brian's top row is just like my best hero.
Hey,
there's way more heroes in there than you would expect too. There's like 35.
They're all right clickers, man. They're all point click stunners and farm creeps type heroes.
Hey.
But you know,
I've always advocated that though. To be fair, I mean, it's great if you can play these super complicated heroes, but at the end of the day, you know, something simple.
Yeah, exactly. I'll push my 2 buttons and farm properly.
It means you always hit a higher, like, you know, 0 to 100% efficiency on the, right?
Yeah.
You put me on Invoker, you're going to get about 2%.
Yep, absolutely.
You're better off actually with a gallon of milk. But, something simple. Wraith King, carry? Psh,
exactly. The day he was made a carry, I was a little worried when they added the skeletons. That's a 3rd button. And you can also toggle the aura, but, you know, it managed to the fact that you don't have to control the skeletons. I just have to know to push it.
That's true. It's kind of them.
And there's a Lifestealer banned out. So what does that say? I mean, usually it used to be you ban Lifestealer, you pick Morphling. It's not like that anymore, though, right? And a lot of teams used to do that.
What?
No, it's usually the opposite. You ban Morphling,
yeah, my bad.
Yeah.
I'm losing it.
No, you're fine. It's been a long day so far. You know,
it has. We've been
technical difficulties, but I feel like maybe they If I had to guess, it's probably a good lane against Ogre. That wouldn't get. I think Ogre over time will just hit a lot, and safe laners, at least in my experience this patch, have primarily been getting just shoved out of their lane sometime around when the offlaner 5 or 6, and Ogre seems to fit that bill, so laners that don't get bullied out. Naga Siren early in the draft.
With Ember banned, Alk banned, and I think that as far as TI heroes, this would be my go-to and how to open a tournament. You capitalize on perhaps Chaos coming in with nerves, maybe a little over aggression, one good song, you punish hard. Probably gonna outscale, no problem.
10 seconds.
Although it could be an FY Naga.
5
If it's
think it
seconds.
would be?
Oh, yeah, I don't know, man. Is
I've not seen
position
a
Naga
support
a
in a
thing?
while. I am not sure.
Well, actually, I guess
It's
it would
radiant.
be an X Novi. Why would
Yeah,
14? I don't know. I'm just saying it's probably core.
And there's this fan, VSJ, you were talking a little bit off stream. You're like, this hero has been getting nerfed a little by little every single patch, but still highly picked.
My description of Finn right now is if I have to pick my carry like before 4th, 5th, and there's nothing amazing, I pick. That's kind of how I feel about Sven. It's kind of like an all-around decent hero. Seems pretty rough into the Shadow Demon.
I just like this. It goes back to just when I go to every year at TI, right? There's the same heroes in a lot of ways, and certain concepts that haven't really been seen all year. Naga Jakiro, right? Everyone knows how this works. Remember Newbie
10
with their
seconds.
Disruptor Naga? Like, it's one of those combinations I just like team pulling out.
5
know.
seconds.
Tried and true. See if it's strong in this current meta, and also a very good matchup against. Apply a lot of prep. And attack speed slow is one of the few ways of really gets the spirit, slow him run away.
Pops you. Yeah. So how long do you think games are not like this game specifically, but do you think we're in a pretty like good meta where there's like there are 20-minute games, but there are 60-minute games? Like games are going to be different, right? You know.
They've made it harder and harder to go high ground, so I feel like they're kind of this critical mass where it becomes a stalemate, or you actually end the game early enough.
Yep.
Meaning like that it's so easy for teams to not be able to hit that mass, and then they're forced to take like 3 Roches, get like a free
Yeah.
Ags, and then they end the game. That's
Yeah.
why I feel like there's high variance in between.
Yeah.
I don't mind that particularly,
It-
but
it's
can
sort
do
of
to
like
the-
it's like when Luke tried to blow up the Death Star. After he
that's
missed,
exactly what I was thinking.
so think of that as he's trying to end the game,
It's radiant
Yeah.
turn to
but he missed the shot, and all of a sudden you've got to circle around, you got to come in. It's like a whole thing, and then you can try to end game again. But it's like 30, 40 minutes later.
Where's Biggs and Wedge come into that? Isn't that one of the guys that dies when he's flying around?
They were like red leader. I didn't know they had names.
Oh, they had names. No, it's okay. There's an Underlord. We haven't seen this hero much.
10
This is
seconds.
one of my sleeper picks when people ask me for the offlane. I said I thought this hero has
5
been like
seconds.
untouched in terms of pro play for like the last 8 months. If you just look at the patch notes,
Mm.
little buff, little buff,
Constantly.
little buff, every patch. And I feel like,
I love
he
this
fits the meta if you have stuns. His only thing he doesn't offer as an offlaner is
It's
lockdown
nice.
and initiation, and they have a lot of that already.
Mm.
And it's really good against heroes like Naga, percent-based damage reduction. Shadow Demon's a little scary when you have these like tanky heroes, because the Soul Catcher is just so
Yeah.
much damage.
Such a scary hero. Like after that change, SDB. The dumbest thing is when you get like 3 heroes with it. It's like a Dagon 5 on the
Yeah.
entire enemy team.
10 seconds.
Ban on Visage.
They are
5
threatening the
seconds
group
remaining.
up, Chaos Esports, and I feel like the problem with Naga as a hero that I've had personally since the change is that she gets like really farmed, but she can't fight until she has 3 items. So teams are able to basically neuter the rest of her team. Like she's the only one farming, and then she's like 4 slotted or 5 slotted, but she's the only one on her team with items, and then she's a melee carry, and you just have all this damage reduction with like a Crimson pipe, and the hero just doesn't do anything. That's the weakness I think of Naga. So Visage really fits that bill for Chaos of let's just hit this timing push where Naga's the only one with items have damage.
You can look at the Chaos lineup, visualize like 2 to 3 items per hero, and you look at PSG LGD, you're like, oh, you don't have any at all.
It's Dire's turn to pick.
Going before the draft, like these teams, right? PSG LGD, they've been together forever. Chaos just came together for the qualifier, right? Like, how big does that matter in like a TI, right? Or
Dude, and
there's
how
been
do
enough
we-
time, or
How do we not talk about like this is Chaos, like Batumba Man, right?
Yeah.
Like
the boy,
this is
TI winner.
You know, shouts to Misery. He had a incredibly difficult year. I'm not gonna get into it, but my man's been stressed
10 seconds.
and puts this squad together last minute. It's like this ragtag
Radiant's
bunch.
turn to pick.
It is.
It's like one of those underdog movies. Remember The Replacements with Keanu Reeves?
Yeah.
That's Misery, and he collects like all these discarded pros. And of course, Matumbo Man being the most famous, aka Toilet Bro, as they call him here in. That will be my nickname for him.
Okay. And that's an Necro. That's his hero, right?
It is.
He's still ready to play his heroes, the green heroes, as they say.
10
And now your
seconds.
PSG LGD, UC, Chaos, as you said, they can group up pretty easily once
Oh, yeah.
Underlord and Sven get their stuff. What do you do to stop that?
Oh, well, I don't know if this Naga can be core anymore, right? Because these are 3 cores that actually destroy Naga. Like you cannot play this hero as the one here.
Who do you replace as the core though? You make Shadow Demon or
I mean, it's not. I mean, we'll see. They obviously think Naga's stronger than we. I love this pick because they needed that damage. It's a early BKB hero. Looking at the Chaos lineup, it's necessary, and it's one of the best heroes against both Underlord and Necrophos. Crazy high magic damage.
I think this game for LGD is entirely in the hands of maybe. Like if his lane doesn't go really well, I feel like it's gonna be this like 20-25 minute period where Chaos, you actually just can't kill anyone.
Yep.
Like you actually just can't kill any of them. And you do have Shadow Demon against Necro, which is something that I think is a really hard matchup for Necro because the ult from Shadow Demon
Yep.
continuously purges you. Can't Ghost Shroud.
Can't Yols, can't do anything.
Yeah, you can't. You pretty much have to buy a Force Staff if you want to buy like a defensive item against Shadow Demon, and that never feels amazing.
I think Hood this game is necessary.
Yeah.
Because that's not purgeable. That's one of the weirder things about Dota is that like Hood and Pipe are not dispellable.
But Crimson is.
Guard is,
Yeah.
which just doesn't seem right. Like I don't know. I think it used to be the op.
Are you trying to tell me there's some inconsistency in the mechanics of Dota?
No.
No, absolutely not. I favor, I favor Chaos Esports like having an easier executing draft, but I think Shadowfiend's the type of hero that could easily just take a game. But
Yeah.
he's also the hero that like if he dies once, his entire momentum's
Well,
like
Doesn't
Gone.
Rush Necro though? Like
It
you're
is
the
a
one
very
v.
good matchup.
Yeah, Grant's the one.
yeah,
v1
ask
expert
him.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shadow Fiend is a lot easier to play, and then you just hit back to the jungle, and guess what? You're level 10 at 9 minutes in, and all of a sudden you have a decent game.
All right. What build does he? I feel like you got to go that old school, maybe the
have no
Arteezy of
clue.
old. You know, the Yules Blink.
I was gonna
Early
say it's the
game.
Yule's Blink, I think.
I really like that build here, especially against a hero like ET Sven. Honestly, all of the Chaos heroes are a bit annoyed by.
And they also have no instant disables. It's very elusive if he has Yule's Blink. Like, how do they actually get on top of him until maybe Sven Blink? And even then, if you got fast fingers, you can react. Something there, Kyle?
Sorry, I thought that was like 6,000 games. I thought it was like the personal record. I was like, Jesus.
So. Very first game over here, and we've got PSG LGD on one side, we've got Chaos Esports Club on the
This is
other,
where you prove
and we've seen it.
yourself.
You think both teams, Chaos maybe has a little bit easier to execute, but obviously the Shadow Fiend has a good game, roams around. You know, you have a Shadow Demon, one of the best heroes it feels like for shutting down. And we'll
so
see.
good. I got butterflies in my stomach, man. It's my favorite part of the year. It's just so cool that we're actually going to see good Dota, you know? All year, teams lose, teams win, they make excuses, their fans make excuses. Oh, it's a new roster, or they're not trying. No, it's a $35 million tournament. This is it. This is the
This is
best
it.
you got.
This is
Whatever
it,
you do
Kyle.
here, this is how good you are. You know what I mean?
No, it's I mean, even the players know that, right? Like, sure, you can win a couple majors, but would you rather, you ask players, like, would you rather win 2 majors, 3 majors, or a TI? Everyone's going to say TI every single time.
So I'm pretty sure if you said, hey, you can win TI, but you'll never be able to play
Let's
Dota
just
again,
skip the 30
they're still
seconds
going to
and
take
get
TI.
started.
There, sorry about that, Misery. We'll make sure to get your chat lines back on. And this Elder Titan is a hero, right? It's the first overall pick. What's he going to do? Is it still the same? You just stack the camp and just spirit run at people?
I think he is. Fog was telling me he was picked a ton in pubs in the lead up to this tournament. I assume it's just probably for the same reason he's always strong, right? Just damage amp, strong laner.
I think it's only Dire because it's usually easier to do like the triple stack.
He's definitely better on Dire.
Yeah, I was just wondering because something I had never considered for a long time, but when you talk to pro players, you hear like there's some heroes that are first pickable on Dire or Radiant and not the other.
To that point, I think SF.
Is he dead? Misery, yes, he will go down. F flying Chalice. They chase him. You talked about the Ogre. This guy has a lot of damage and an Orb of Venom.
That's actually such a cool build, going Bloodlust level 1. Did he buff FY as well? And then... Oh, but that's so cool. They're just going to push this lane.
Yeah.
Yep, a lot of
And
4
pressure.
positions have been running or getting that early Basilius.
We've been seeing that more and more. Just Basilius, what happened, right? Obviously, people stopped picking it up. Oh, Aquila's not here. It's trash, but it still gives you damage, right?
Yeah, a ton of damage. It's 8. I'm fairly certain that's the most damage you can get unless you go like 3 of the... you get 9 when you go 3 of whatever your stat is, but you know what I mean. 3 of those 3+ items.
Here it is. Shadow Fiend going up against this Necro. 4-0 versus 4-0.
Now, this gets much better for SF as he gets levels, specifically 3-5.
A Necro hero that always wins the sustain battle, so really the only heroes that are good against him are ones that can kill him. But
Yeah.
a 6 stun is definitely enough so.
See, pulls happening, contesting all these camps bottom. Pretty tanky boys on Chaos side. And yeah, X-Nova a little bit out of position. He's gonna get it canceled. Level 2, we're skilling up Pit of Malice. That might get him a kill here. Milan trying to chase. 312 movement speed versus 292, and
Oh,
he
he
should be able to,
salved.
yeah, he wasted his salve. Will he use a tango? He's just gonna try to get out. One more. Oh, he eats into him, and that's all his tangos as well, it looks like. So
That's so much gold. It's like 200 gold he just
it
spent.
was 3 tangos, yeah, and a full salve.
And a TP.
Down bottom, and then up top though, Ogre 9-2 versus Sven's 5-0. And it looks like he's going phase boot stick. You think it's just phase boots Midas? That seems to be the Ogre build.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much every non-agility hero likes to go phase Midas. The combo, like the phase is just so strong in lane. Pretty much every hero benefit heavily from the sick armor. And then Midas is like, if you don't have any other item that changes the way you can play, then
Yeah.
like, if you're gonna win the lane anyway, why not just get a Midas?
You a Midas guy, Brian? Or BSJ? You pick it up on every hero?
Yeah, pretty
most
much.
part.
Anytime I can in this patch.
They're
but, like,
just turning around
Yep,
misery.
yep. They were going on Chalice, and they're like, let's kill this guy. We got the full duration Inkswell plus the stun, and he just lives.
And he just
so.
has 10 armor with the
Yeah,
bass.
they-
2 points in Bloodlust. Look at that. He's maxing Bloodlust. I was not sure like what the skill build is for Ogre, but he's showing it here. You get bonus attack speed for yourself compared to others. He's at 50 attack speed. He just wants to whop on some people.
They forgot the cardinal rule, which is never go for Ogre. Even if they
Never.
kill him there, it's like you would have had to use so much. Misery would have had to heal even if he didn't die.
Rough, so it seems like both the off lanes here are going reasonably well for both teams. Meanwhile, middle, you talked about Necro is still doing well. Very, very good early. Shadow Fiend, once he gets those higher level of raises, can start clearing out the jungle a lot easier.
I thought this matchup would go better for SF by this. He has the Ring of Basilius on the Man, which I like a lot. For low armor against the SF, and it also helps you push.
The concern I have is like you made a point about the huge timing for Chaos, right? Where they get nigh indestructible, go high ground around 20-25 minutes. The concern I have is that if it's not the Sven that's ahead, they not only will have issues hitting that timing, but also they're going to just not scale. Like late game LGD will win this game.
Yeah.
And I feel like Chaos need to hit that timing to win because you're not going to get into this like 6-slot versus 6-slot game and come out on top.
If they're stacking, I'm not concerned about Sven. As of now, ET has not stacked any of these dire camps in the triangle.
Weird, isn't? Aren't you supposed to do that?
Yeah, I thought that's what makes it enable. I haven't actually seen this hero myself recently, but in the past, that's what you tended to do. You'd have like 4 stacks at that point, have like 200 damage in your spirit.
Wow, oh man, X-Nova almost just gets one shot there by the Elder Titan. Top lane, there's a fight going on as well, but Milan will be the first one to die, pops his stick, poisons keep going out, and they will finally bring him down.
It's really cool as well. X-Nova ensured that Ame would get the kill, pop the poison early.
Yep. There you go, 1K lead already for LGD.
This is... What a way to start off TI with be faded. You know, first time here, and he just has an Ogre Jakiro in his lane.
That you're just like, what do I do?
Yeah.
You know, like,
This is
do I
not-
just go to the jungle now or later? I don't know. They are going to try to go in the... Look at it, they just don't do damage
What's
to
up?
him. He has 14 armor currently.
I don't like this play just because
14.
it's 450 into the game, so you know if you commit onto him like this, he's just gonna go Shrine right after. And you already had to use it on Chaos, so it's like, I don't know. It just... I always like to time those types of all-in commitments. And they're both gonna do it, and I think this just benefits Ogre. He's already got that plate or chainmail, so as you said, 4.
Plus the Bassing.
Yeah, which is just insane. He's gonna go for the phase. I'm curious if he goes back for the Midas right away, or if like
I think you do. There's no reason not to. And it's just with the multicast working with it, it's such an insanely overpowered item for the hero. Like, if you consider like what item makes him stronger, right?
Yeah, like what are you gonna get, like a Vlad's or a drum or something, or like none of those items are like, okay, I'm a drastically different.
Middle. X-Nova, he does get in range here. We'll see. Is level 6 to level 3 in the races. There's going to be 1, there's going to be 2. Matoman is going to throw out the ulti. He won't get a kill. It will delay him a little bit, but I don't think he's getting out of here. X-Nova will secure the kill. Simple. There is an Elder Titan rotating over, but a little bit late in the rune. Will be bottom. Milan scoops it up.
You can see like SF versus Necro. Any sort of disable, set up, triple race, done. He wasn't even level 7, was he?
No. Just still not. This feels rough. Feels like all the pressure right now is on Chaos. You see him hiding behind their tower here. Even bottom lane, the Naga, almost level 6, just farming it up. Oh, yeah, he's standing right on top of the Radiant War. That's why I didn't see it. It will go away, and they'll see it. Doesn't look like they can really do anything here. They're just going to leave the Underlord down bottom, and now Shadow Fiend, he can just kind of do whatever he wants, it feels like.
Having a bad day.
I feel like Keizu's played this role for every team. Like his style of offlane is just to be sacrificed and chill.
Yeah. Now VT Fate, he does take a little bit of damage. They are trying to go on this
TVs.
Ogre. And they're just going to run at him. VT Fate, he's in a little bit of trouble. Chow, he tries to get the stun up, and he finally gets it on 1, but there's going to be an easy kill. Over comes the Shadow Fiend. There's a kill on Misery. It's a 1-for-1. Milan will go for the stomp, but X-Nova will cancel. VT Fate, he TP'd to the bottom shrine, and he got the hell out of here.
Great rotation.
He knows they have early game damage issues. You talked about that in the draft, and he's the solution to that problem. And I think that's a really important recognition of a mid laner. Is like, what is your job? Is it to get big? Is it to contribute? Like, you know, what are you? Are you damage? Are you stunned? Like, in this game, he is their only damage. So if there's an engagement, he has to be there.
Yeah, I'm surprised Chaos. I mean, they didn't have wards mid, so they wouldn't have known he was teleporting. But surprised that they pursued like that. Again, onto the Ogre. You know, Chalice recognizes his role in this game, and he has no problem dying. When you consider he has 15 armor, like 1,000 health. If he dies, there's going to be turnaround.
And look at the Shadow Fiend, how quick he attacks with that Bloodlust level 3.
Oh, yeah.
They're just gonna, they got an Ogre. They're like, we can tank this tower, whatever. Shadow Fiend will be the one tanking it though, and it looks like it will go down. Glyph is on cooldown, so see you later. Simple as that.
Such a great rotation. They get so much out of that. I love when the top tower is dead and I have an SF on my team because he loves playing that enemy jungle. And now all of a sudden you can ward the shrine and PSG LGD gain 3-4 camps in the dire jungle.
Now this Naga seems like her game's gonna be a lot easier as well. She can just farm her jungle while Shadow Fiend's elsewhere. She is out of lane, but she wants to be out of lane now, right? She gets more gold out of the jungle.
And just compare her to the Sven. Sven's not even level 6, Naga's already level 8. And the main issue I said with Naga is that the rest of your team pays the price that you're farming. And since they've taken this early lead, early map control, that weakness is not a thing. And whenever I look at a hero and I'm like, that's their weakness. If that is not actually happening, this hero looks really broken. And this is the type of game that I'm really scared to be playing against Naga Siren.
Misery, he's looking pretty dead. He does have the raindrop zone. Here's going to be a heal from a Teleman. They're actually just going to run at Chalice. He does have his ulti. Will that be enough to kill him right now? It is. They pick it up. 30 seconds dead is the Ogre.
To be fair, Chalice has virtually no farm on the offlane Ogre comparatively to the Underlord.
Yeah, but look at the effective network though. Like, what is a Vanguard on the Underlord? This is what it's effective for, sure. You can sit at a tower and play defensively, but there's absolutely zero offensive threat Keizu applies on the map. So sure, he has more net worth, but is it useful? Does it help his team acquire objectives? I don't think so.
It just scares me a little bit because I do think Naga kind of falls off, and if you have like this core Ogre that isn't actually a core, you know what I mean, as the game goes on.
He's gonna have a Midas like $1 billion gold.
Yeah, I mean he's got 300 gold towards the Midas at 10 minutes. He might. This might be a real late Midas.
Can you do me a favor and pull up the XP graphs?
I believe that's gold per minute.
No, it's the other. It's like you gotta do it.
It's like
top
F1
left.
or F2.
Yeah, you gotta pull up.
Oh
it's like,
yeah, I got you. It's like F6. F7. There you go.
That's only 1,000. All right, not as bad as I thought. Never mind.
Well, we might as well hit over the net worth while we're here. 2,000, or a little less. It says 1,000 for PSG LGD here, but it does feel like, well, it says there's bounty runes here, but they're not. And VT faded. This is the guy, right? This Sven has to get farmed. He's going for the Midas still. Is that what you do, BSJ, or do you think that's what he has to do?
I think most games on Sven you go Midas. It's kind of like there's other games you can go Echo Saber first. I've seen like people still go Mask of Madness sometimes.
Yeah, when you're this far behind, don't you have to go Mask? I feel like going Midas Echo is just, what's his timing going to be? When is this team going to win the game?
I think you go Midas Echo and then you go BKB and kind of just...
Dude, you're the greediest carry player.
I mean, clearly VT Faded agrees with me though, man.
Apparently he's
If you go
greedier.
Mask of Madness, I only go Mask of. I actually think I can kind of participate with it, and I don't think I can this game because of my start.
I don't know. It's like a difference in philosophy between, because I always feel like in this sort of game you need to try to be able to participate versus because now you have Keizu and VT Faded that aren't really able to do things. You have Matumba Man being your primary playmaker.
I'm telling you, if I'm Chaos, I'm not telling you it's like a winning plan, but I think our best option is to like just scale and get to like 35, 40 minutes and just say that's a core ogre. Gonna die to the ET. Okay. Like they have a core ogre who has no farm. I don't know. I feel like if you weather the Naga Siren.
He's 200 gold behind the Sven.
But the Sven is going to get farm.
You
know what I'm saying?
Swear to God.
Dude, Sven's a nice recover hero now.
Are you doing this on purpose? Are you playing devil's advocate right now?
I mean, if I just go with you, then that's like, yeah, I'm giving you Chaos as like why they're doing this. I don't think they have a better option. I'm not saying it's good. I'm saying it's their best option. Like, I'm telling you, I've played a lot of Sven this patch, and if you're behind like this, you're actually just not a hero until like 25 minutes into the game. Like, the way they've nerfed his abilities, like his longer cooldown on his ult, his stun being crappier at early levels, the ability to participate on Sven just
do you go
sucks.
this build with the nerfs this time?
I usually go 2 points in Stormhammer, but it's like, I either feel like with the new nerfs to Sven, that if I don't have a really good start, I actually am just not a hero in the game. Like, that's what it feels like this one. In the past, it felt like even if I had a bad start, I could kind of just throw out some stuns, show up to fights, be kind of useful, maybe get kited, but tank a lot of damage. And nowadays, this feels like your only option, and why I think the nerfs have hit Sven, because he's like there's like less game situations that the hero's actually useful. And this is why I don't like Necro against SF. It just feels rough, but they're actually protecting him really well.
Yeah, he is taking some damage. He will get ulted by the Shadow Demon. They're going to try to turn it around. Look at this. PSG LGD not going to commit, and
that early 4-staff, man.
Yep, you guys called it. I mean, you can't get Ewells because the Purge would have useless there, or would have made the Ewells useless.
This is Matumba Man after all. Man does know his green heroes.
Well, middle tower does get harassed a little bit more by the Jakiro, but it stays alive. We've seen 5 heroes by both teams here now.
Yeah, they smoked up on this side of Chaos, so they might have just been planning to ambush whoever was trying to push the mid tower. And I think with Sven specifically, if you lose that mid tower, you lose a lot of control of your own dire triangle. And since you lost the top tower, and you, like you said, it kind of the dire jungle kind of belongs to LGD. If you lose that mid tower, you can see how much like priority they're putting on it because they know they need to protect the Sven because of his build.
Oh yeah, that's going to be a storyline for the entire event. Is just how do teams protect their mid. That's like one common thread, and pretty much every pro player I talk to is discussing how that's become paramount and important.
If you're looking for Radiant's bottom tower,
You got Bloodlust on one side, which is pretty nice for it to do. Bloodlusted towers, when they get glyphed, destroy creep waves. Holy... They destroy heroes too, actually. Well, bottom lane is finally going to get pushed in here. He's just been hiding now. Shadow Fiend has actually been here for about a minute and a half now, just hiding in this exact same spot. Hasn't moved.
They know something's up.
Here we go. Do we have another ulti? We do from the Shadow Demon, but there is VT Veda as well as Matumba Man here. 2 strong cores as well as Milan. Good disengage and engage. There's going to move forward immediately. Matumba Man takes a ton of damage. Milan will try to save him. Nice dodge there, but look at this. Looks like he will be able to make it out. No, the sleep catches onto both of them. Here comes the split. Will it be enough? Nope, won't hit onto anyone, and they might just turn it on the Sven. There's going to be a stun. It will be multicast net. Right click, right click.
And I love, did you see how they set that up too? Where they, like, no one's getting in melee range of the Sven. They kind of just concaved around him.
Ooh, and middle lane.
Yeah,
Fly gets it. Milan cannot deny it, so ton of team gold there.
And they get both top bounty runes for free because of the map control they've acquired thanks to the top tier 1 going down. It's just so cool, and this is the thing, you know, It's not about the Sven's timing to me as much as it's in comparison to Naga. I always feel like if you don't have BKB by the time he's picked up Manta Diffusal, like what do you actually do to play Dota anymore?
I agree. I'm saying their best option. I never said it was good. I'm in agreement. I'm in agreement.
Backtracking. That's
No,
supposed to be my
I've
job
said
on
this
the
whole
TriCast
time.
PSJ.
I've said this whole time that I'm like, this is why they're doing it, but it's not
I'm
like.
literally looking at your notebook.
I mean, is it better than Rich's
His Hello
notebook?
Kitty notebook, yeah.
My Hello Kitty notebook. Yeah, I mean, when you're this like far behind in map control as a team like Chaos is, you just have to force like brute force this tier 1 tower. And I like how LGD basically forced them to come back as 4 heroes. That first like shutdown is really important. It delays this tower by a solid like minute and a half, and then it also makes the enemy team have to bring this next like level of commitment to get the tower again, and it just buys you so much time. Now they're pretty much getting a tier 2 tower top, or at least forcing Chaos to respawn. Now they're farming like 2/3 of the map, while pretty much Chaos only has their triangle and bottom lane.
The Ogre, he does, his Midas is flying out now,
He
about
didn't take the 90
16.5.
GPM. Wow. Gotta cast that Midas from farther, save time, you know. Bottom lane might be seeing next. Nope, they do miss the ET splitter, but they still get the Necro Scythe on him, so he's dead for a long time.
This PSG LGD time is going to be insane. They're going to smoke forwards with a BKB on SF and a Manta Diffusal Naga, and they're just going to walk in Chaos. And they have so much, like, I call it LRC, which is long-range cannons. They don't actually need to close gaps to find kills. They just throw out a bunch of spells.
They do have a lot of poke, which is good against heroes like Underlord. Yeah.
I love poke against these slow-moving Chaos cores. They don't have much burst on that side either, so very easy to kind of play cat and mouse throughout the team fight.
I think we're pretty much just waiting for the PSG LGD, this Diffusal, this BKB, and then they're just gonna start marching down lanes, or is that what you think?
Not necessarily. It's more that, I mean, they will welcome conflict, whereas now, the PSG LGD, they take a good fight. Chaos, you try and dive a tower, push an objective, sure, we'll battle you. But as soon as they get to that point, that power spike, all of a sudden they're the ones getting aggressive. They're looking for fights, and that Chaos map will start to shrink on them.
It already kind of feels like that. You see 4 heroes pretty much around that middle lane. Meanwhile, it's just, well, there goes Dark Green. He's gone. Kezu coming with the team. Has his hood now. Hood Vanguard.
Can we check in on the Sven?
Yeah, I would love to.
My concern is, again, you've got 3 cores on Chaos. Their draft's predicated on getting ahead, staying ahead, deathballing. But they have 3 cores that are just watermelons. They're not really trying to get aggressive yet, even though they're going to hit the tower. I don't know if it's going to work.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Here comes Radiant on over. Tower is at about 300 life. There's going to be the next TP. All 5 Radiant heroes are here. Can X Nova find anyone? No?
Gotta get the hell out of here. VTP didn't want to know part of it, even with the DD back in the jungle.
I can farm the jungle quicker with this. See ya.
This is a free ult on the jungle creep, you know,
Yep.
like I'm getting that extra
Didn't have to
bonus
waste
damage.
it, no.
Exactly.
Oh, so value.
There's the Diffusal Blade on the Naga. What are we at? 18 minutes in. Had a tough like first level or 2, but then they got that kill, and then pretty much felt like Naga just hasn't looked back.
Yeah, I thought the lane matchup might be better for. I just felt like Naga doesn't do anything to you, but I guess like once the laning stage kind of dissipates, you just hit jungle creeps and defend the tower. Like Underlord doesn't like dive you and kill you or anything.
FY, he's got a full Yules as well.
Yeah, FY is super farm. That was something I was going to mention, is that when you have this like ogre type offlaner, he's never showing in lanes and clearing, so you have these like Lina, Jakiro type 4 positions that just clear ways for you, and they get really farmed.
That's just such a great 3-4 combination. Oh,
As the 4-step, Milan comes over. There's going to be the BKB used, and oh my goodness, Milan gets destroyed. Will they save Matuma, man? He will try to run. No, there's going to be the net. He will go into ethereal form, but will he make it away? He's going to get Ice Path. There's a multi-cast, so much damage. They can't do it, but he will make it out. They are going to get soulbound together. There's going to be a stun.
but the spacing is so good. Oh,
No, do we have FY? Here's the Ice Path. This is going to be a 3, maybe 4. No, only hits onto 1. It's actually onto Misery, and they do get Matamba Man down. Chalice is kind of in deep, but Misery, he's in deeper, even though he's by his tower, goes down. Kezu, he's going to try to run, but VT Fate, he's going to go down. This is going to be a team wipe, I believe. There's going to be a Yules in the air. FY, throw another Ice Path, my friend, and Here come the hits. 1, 2. He's trying to survive. There's a buyback. Grimstroke going to try to help out a little, but he goes down. They're actually diving another, and it's Milan.
Been on this PSG LGD. Do you see how well they're playing these fights?
Dude,
The
that was
movement.
perfect.
Everyone is spaced so that they can get their spells off, but nobody's within like 300-400 units of each other.
They're just never committing though.
Yeah, they don't have to.
Yeah.
They just spam spells off cooldown. These low CDs, I love the way this draft comes together. And if you're Chaos, the problem with your lineup is that now that you're behind, you have absolutely zero mechanic to get back into it, with the exception of the enemy making a mistake.
Absolutely. They pretty much have to rely on LGD like diving high ground when they're not strong enough to do it. And you've already, if they're not diving tier 2s, they're not going to dive high ground, right? Like they're proving that they understand that you have these like Underlord Necro heroes that they're never going to turn the fight on you unless you bring the fight to them actually, you know? And that's like, you see so much disengage items being built by Chaos, but disengage doesn't matter if you can't actually turn the fight at any given point. And I feel like there's no...
Midas?
Yep, might.
Please.
Cat.
VT faded. Please, the siege creep.
Grant's OCD is just
I need it.
triggered right
I mean,
now.
that's just, you're losing a lot. I mean, the siege is here.
Why isn't he actually not minus him?
And now he might just done that. It's only one here. He will pop the Midas there.
The value Jakiro ult lingers on creeps now.
Now 10k, and I mean, you talked about that last fight. It's, dude, playing Naga in your head feels so good, right? You don't have to like save your ulti for one time. It's like, hey, you use it when you want, offensively, defensively, and right, they just get a perfect 3-man ulti off.
The chase.
Yeah, you're seeing PSG LGD, they will not overextend here. And it
love
gets denied.
And this is so cool. Like, Ogre, you get the Midas, and all of a sudden it's like, all right, guys, I don't need creeps anymore. I'm going to go run at heroes, and I'll buy team fight items.
And here we go, he does run. That's actually a 4-step forward by the Necro. It's going to be an aggressive one onto this Ogre, but he doesn't care. He just knocks off the silence. And now they'll slowly siege, as you said, ignites, liquid fires. They just have to run away from all this damage over time. 2-man stomp, though. Doesn't blame he's going to come out. The Ice Path will just zone him out. It's going to be Kezu. Hit of Malice goes down.
Can they fight this? They don't have their Sven.
So they're trying Matumba though. Guess what? Oh my goodness, the damage there. W coming up from Shadow Demon. There's gonna be an Earth Splitter. Will only hit onto one of them. Stun comes out, and this is just, I don't even know if this is a fight. We're just watching him go back and forth here. Fully healed as the Underlord now.
This looks like a punching bag. You're just hitting him over and over, and he's just bouncing right back. Eventually,
Can they time it?
Oh, shit.
And he gets it off onto 3 of them. There's going to be 1 kill. There's going to be 2 kills. There's going to be a third almost. There it is. There's going to be another. And oh my
but check out the bottom lane.
I'm going.
Sven,
This-
Midas.
He definitely,
Midas.
this is the BSJ Sven guide.
Yeah,
Right here. In the flesh. Farm, farm, farm. And when you lose the game, whose fault is it, BSJ?
I mean, my team fed relentlessly.
Over and over again.
Yeah, what am I supposed to do when my team's just feeding 4v5 like this?
And I believe
I
that-
told them not to fight, sit in base, and they're just out there dying over and over. But in all honesty, like,
This is a clinic.
yeah, this is a clinic. This doesn't look like baseball. That looked like t-ball. The ball was placed on top of the pole, and he just had all the time in the world on maybe just
You
to
got to
wind
use
up
a more European
Sorry.
friendly analogy. A penalty kick.
a penalty kick. There
Yeah.
you go. There you go. In soccer?
Football.
Nah, I was just trying to cherry you there. Sorry. Okay, well, he's almost got his BKB on Sven, so I'm telling my team I'm almost online. I've got it now. I'm ready to fight.
We didn't need that Rex anyways. I've
Yeah.
got cleave. I can always cleave the creeps down if
The only
needed.
problem is they give less gold, but I have the Midas, so I can still get as much gold from these creeps.
I mean, this is it, right? Like, you need to take a good fight with this BKB, like a perfect
Yeah.
fight. And you're, what, 16,000 gold? Well, here we go. They're gonna, okay, the smoke. They know.
He saw X-Nova's going to just die here.
Puts himself under. No one's going to come help him, but
You better sight them. Oh, he doesn't have it.
still throws the ulti out. Just annoy Necro a little.
And what's that called, BSJ?
That is called a crucial kill.
It's tactical feeding. Man,
Oh,
come
tactical
on.
feeding. Okay.
We're playing Dota Jeopardy.
I was just,
together.
I'm really trying to like say the opposite of what you're trying to get me to say.
Why?
You're killing it.
Thank you, thank you.
And there's okay. When this Naga gets hard, feels like, you know, now they can just 5-man down the lane. I mean, they don't have to, but look at this. Maybe he won't even get hard. He's going to try to split, but will stun go off? It will. There's going to be the sleep, though. And guess who's coming on over? It's the Shadow Fiend again. They don't want to go in quite yet, though. They don't have the Shadow Demon. There's going to be the BKBs now. Oh, my goodness. Misery with that death on the Shadow Fiend just gets blown up.
I love when you get to go Death on SF.
So greedy,
It's
but it's
so much
so
minus
good,
armor.
too. Yeah, it is.
And he also took the Presence Aura affects buildings.
Yep.
So you are
Dude, I
destroyed.
love that. I'm surprised more SFs don't do it, actually.
I mean, it was Gambit for a while,
Gambit,
right?
yeah,
they
Afro
just
Ninja.
they were just owning for a while with that.
Radiant are scanning
This is a really cool concept, because when you're ahead like this, Chaos, like, they're still trying to get their own, like, offensive items online so they can finally play aggressive. You look at the armor, like, VT faded he's gonna go down to, what, like 3 armor with the Deso plus the presence?
I'm gonna do some math
Yeah,
here.
it's gonna
He
be
has
1 armor.
15. Thank you.
Yeah, it's
That's not a lot of
7%.
armor for a guy who's wearing a full set of armor and
Yeah,
has a
it's true.
bulwark, I believe.
Is he part wolf? Because I heard they don't need armor.
Who said that?
Lycan?
Who's that?
What do you mean, who's that? Literally the hero voice
Oh,
line?
the hero- I haven't
Lycan.
seen him in so long.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I thought you were saying, like, lie can. Like, I can lie. And
oh.
I have no idea where you're going with that.
Oh.
Dude, now almost a butterfly in the Shadow Fiend. So we're getting our tier 5 items up here on the Shadow Fiend.
Oh,
now.
that 3 times multicast at Midas.
Look at his money. Almost has a Lotus. He has a 4 staff now.
Yeah.
As I said, Kyle, he's gonna get the Midas. He's gonna scale with the farm,
And he's good. He's in.
and he's there.
I hope that casting this 3 will transfer my curse. That'd be excellent. If all of a sudden, I mean, well, I guess you're always wrong. It's not as funny.
Yeah.
So why aren't they going just straight into Roche? Is it still like too scary with the Elder Titan and the Sven
You
BKB?
just don't need to.
Or you don't need. You just rather farm.
Getting killed as like forcing a 5-minute engagement you don't have to take is like the only way LGD.
This is that part of the game where all the top, like the flies, the crows, the puppies, they say, guys, they can't beat us anymore.
If we don't mess up.
Exactly. We can lose, but they can't win.
Well, this is going down quick. You got a Solar Crest now on FY, the Deso, and see you later, Sven. Or not Sven. Hope he's not dying right there.
Yeah, they basically made a movement there that pushed the bottom lane in, so that then somebody on Chaos had to respond to it. Then it gives them the 15 to 20 seconds they need to take Roche, and that just stirs up any possible way the enemy team could ever contest.
They're playing like a grandfather clock right now. It's so clean.
Ooh, he rolls up. He does have the force. Doesn't get it off. He's just dead, I think.
Is he? Well, he's still alive, and look at that. 4 staffs out. They don't want to dive up quite yet. But there's the, oh boy, they're all here. 4 of them get slept up. There's the macro fire ice path onto 3 of them. Oh my goodness, they're all just gonna get blown up. Misery, Kazu, they're both gonna drop consecutively, and they're gonna look for one more. It's VT faded. He will try to run. BKB has 1 more second on it. He's gonna try to juke to the left now, and they're just like, okay, see you later. Elder Titan instead will go down, and are they just gonna go for the throne here?
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Sure looks
Kiro.
like. Yep, you've got a hard, you have the butterfly, not quite yet on Shadow Fiend, but it don't matter. They do a lot of damage.
Oh yeah. This was good.
Yes, it was. PSG LGD. They're looking clean. I know coming in this event, right? I mean, obviously, we all regret it. We don't have to lie. People are saying, yo, Vici Gaming is the top Chinese team, but after seeing this, obviously we haven't seen Vici yet. Does LGD have a case up there?
Oh yeah. I mean, my power ranking would be RNG, LGD, Vici Keen.
Okay. You're putting VG pretty low there, Kyle, compared to what other people... Some people have him as the favorite.
Some people are wrong.
Okay. BSJ, how are you feeling about this? This looked, as you said, a clinic. But let's go to the other side. Chaos, what can they learn from that? Like, is it a draft issue or was it a play issue?
I just feel like the one thing Kyle mentioned is they have 3 cores that kind of do the same thing. Like they're all kind of beefy,